The biggest problem with ARs is they all kind of look the same, so it's easy to assume that they are all the same. This particular gun, the VKTR Industries VK1, feels like you're holding a DI gun, but is a piston gun. It's pretty darn lightweight for a piston gun, and it can shoot suppressed and unsuppressed without making changes to the gas system, even with high back pressure cans like my Sandman K. All the while, it's very light recoiling, so buckle up and I'll tell you about the VK1. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I realize you don't see me holding rifles very often, but I do own them and I do shoot them, and this gun was particularly interesting to me when I ran into the guys from VKTR Industries at the TriggerCon of 2023. They sat down and they talked me through all of the engineering. There's 8 patents that apply to this gun. And I mean, it's some pretty impressive stuff that I will tell you about. And they said, yeah, we'd love to send you one. You can check it out and do a review. So I've been shooting this gun for just over 6 months now. I don't even know the round count, but it's at least a 4-figure round count, probably 2,000 rounds potentially out of the gun. So fast forward about a year from TriggerCon 2023, and this thing just shows up unannounced at my FFL. So check it out. So there's your disclosure for full transparency. I'm going to tell you about the gun, give you the data, my experiences with it. I'm not going to try to sell you on anything, but I do think that this is a heck of a lot of gun for the money. I think it's a pretty awesome rifle. And the reason I say that is I hate wrenching on guns. I know a lot of you guys just build rifles and you never even shoot them. That's not me. If I'm going to get a gun, I want it to be just about how I like it out of the box, so I don't have to mess with it. I can just pick it up and run it, and this is pretty darn close to that level. But real quickly, how did the phone propose to his girlfriend? He gave her a ring. So I'll start with the creature comforts because I like a really ergonomic gun. The gun gamer in me wants everything ambi and everything super reachable, and this gun has it. It starts with the Magpul SL stock, which is honestly a great stock. It doesn't claim any of my beard hair when I use it, so I like that about it. It's got the K2 grip, which is a totally fine grip. Coming forward onto the safety, it is the Radian Talon safety, which is ambi. It's not my favorite. I prefer a 45-degree throw on safeties just because, again, gamer with pistols. But at the same time, it's good enough, and I'm a weirdo who likes to flip the safety on with my trigger finger, so I can do that with this safety wonderfully. It has both the mag catch and bolt catch on both sides of the gun. However, you can only lock the bolt to the rear on the left-hand side of the rifle, but the charging handle is the Radian Raptor LT, which is my personal favorite charging handle. The trigger on this one, and this is an older gun, they're not marketing it on the website anymore, but this was a Hyperfire trigger. I can't remember which one, but it's a totally fine trigger. Didn't make me want to do anything with it. The receivers and the handguard, they fit together wonderfully. The fit is honestly very good on the rifle. The handguard coming forward is obviously skeletonized with a continuous rail at 12 o'clock, and then it has the M-LOK slots at 3, 6, and 9 o'clock. So you can mount your stuff. Of course, it's a full floated guard with anti-rotation tabs. So if you're going to mount stuff for zeroing, like lasers and illuminators and all that stuff, you can do it on it, no problem. There are a couple different variations on the gun. The barrel twist is a 1-in-7, and this is the 13-7 pin and weld with the Sons of Liberty Gunworks Knox muzzle device. And obviously that is the quick attach muzzle device for the Sandman series of cans from Dead Air. The finish on the receivers and handguard is a Cerakote. It's available in a couple different colors. This is the Sniper Gray because I'm a sniper. Not really. I have no patience for aiming, but I can do a little bit of it. But that's all kind of the boring stuff. Let's talk about kind of the exciting, like engineering type stuff where some of you eyes will glaze over, but it makes a difference, I promise. All right, first things first, the gas system is very interesting. It's got 6 holes in it that bleeds off gas. It only needs the first 3 holes to run the gun when it is unsuppressed as it is right now. But when you mount the can on it, it uses all 6 to bleed off the excess pressure. So that's pretty cool. There's not a huge difference in how the gun shoots, whether you're shooting suppressed or unsuppressed. And the only adjustment that happens when I was shooting my Sandman K is it was stopped throwing the brass to about like the 430 position and went up to about the 230 position. So the brass kind of started going to the front versus just kind of slightly to the rear. And you couldn't tell in the shoulder, only the extra weight at the muzzle, that it was any different. Now, I'm not an engineer or anything like that, but the engineer who was telling me about this at TriggerCon in 2023, and this is something I remember very clearly because he was passionate about it, was that the bolt has a 22.5 degree cam path, meaning a true 22.5 degree. The regular AR only gets about 20.7 degrees of travel. And so the 22.5 degree, that extra 1.5, allows the back pressure to kind of bleed off. And that's what keeps the gun from recoiling quite as much. Their bolt carrier group is also chromed. So, I mean, a piston gun doesn't dump a ton of carbon onto the bolt. And since it's chrome, it cleans up super duper easy. It's a really nice bolt. And similarly, the geometry of the lugs on the bolt has changed to increase the strength of the bolt. You can just look at the picture and see a regular bolt versus the VK1 bolt, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. That additional right angle geometry makes the bolt stronger. So if it is a high round count gun, it will hold up better. Keeping the rugged theme going, the buffer retaining pin is precisely machined to match the face of the buffer, increasing the surface area so it increases its strength. They say, if you believe marketing, that it's the last buffer retaining pin you'll ever have to buy. For a lot of the shooting, I didn't even have the LPVO on there. I just had a red dot on there, and I was just shooting at, 30 yards and in, doing just kind of speed hoser type stuff, and I was really happy with how the gun shot. Reliability wise, I never had an issue at all with the gun. It just ran like a top. So that was all to the good. And through all the shooting I did with the gun, it didn't get very dirty. Like, as I'm holding it right now, I haven't cleaned it. The B-roll you're seeing of the bolt that I'm showing you is the dirty bolt, so the gun just doesn't get very dirty, which is a quality I like because I don't like cleaning guns. So as far as negatives are concerned, I didn't really run into anything I didn't particularly like. As I mentioned, the safety, but that's, that's personal preference on the shape of the safety. It's a great safety. Some people are going to love that thing. That would probably be my biggest gripe on the rifle, and that's honestly pretty minimal. That's a lot of rifle, and the price on the rifle, if you go to their website, is a lot. But if you use like the gun deal shopping sites and stuff like that, I was able to find this gun on sale between about $1,800 and $2,000. They do use a distributor network, so it is on the rack at some of the gun stores across the country, maybe possibly your gun store. It has features that are in line with something that would be at about the 3,000 mark or more, and so it is kind of a value in that sense. It's just a lot of value because it's still a costly rifle. Another cool rifle that I looked at recently, in case you missed it, was the Century Arms MB47, a collaboration with Sharps Bros. So if you want to see me get roasted in the comments by the AK Bros, then there's that video you can watch.